Okay, when Jonas Valanciunas is posting you up, you can't give him any space. You're giving him space, right? You got to get up right now and battle for real estate, initiate contact. See, look what happens when you give him space. Now he's able to take advantage of that space by using his off arm to create an angle right here. All right, we got a cross screen right here. Gordon Hayward has got to jam Valanciunas as he comes through this cross screen so this player can get on the other side. When you don't do that, I mean, Valanciunas is now catching this ball way too low. Okay, so right now, Jonas Valanciunas is posting you up right now. Okay, once he turns, like right now, stop. He's turning. Now he's facing you up. So now you just got to get your hand off of him because he's no longer posting you up and just show your hands, get your feet in a defensive stance, and be ready to slide because he's facing you up now. See, look at the problem. You don't get your hands off of him. So now look, he's going to make a little jab step, and that's because you were defending him like he was posting you up. That gets you flying the other way, and boom. Okay, so if you're Terry Rozier here and you're guarding Brandon Ingram, as soon as Brandon Ingram turns to post you up, stop. See, you got to be the one to make first contact right here. Because look at, if you don't and Brandon Ingram does, look at how much he just had you flying backwards. So now you're not even guarding Brandon Ingram's post up till it's way too late. What is this Hornets player doing in transition? Why is he not getting up to Trey Murphy now? We can't see him yet. Now we can. Why was he standing in the middle of nowhere? Why was he not up here ready to guard? I mean... Okay, so the Hornets are not switching this first screen, okay? So this player should just stay home then if Gordon Hayward's getting over the top. What is this Hornet, what is JT Thor doing here? Why are you leaving Trey Murphy? What is Dennis Smith doing here? Get in a defensive stance with your feet set. Why are you're climbing uphill right now? What is that? So Brandon Ingram's going downhill now as you're going uphill. Okay, so this Hornets player, there's a Pelicans player not in our screen that he has no chance of getting to. So you need to be sprinting here to this Pelicans player. See, you're going back to a play. This player's not ready. It was guarding here. He's not ready to come over here. And again, the Hornets are not switching this screen. So stop. So if you're not switching this screen, get over here underneath Brandon Ingram, ready to guard. What is this? Where's this Hornets player going right now? What? Okay, just because you're in drop coverage does not mean you shouldn't still be in a defensive stance with your feet set. Look at this Hornets player. He's going uphill right now. He's not in a defensive stance. His feet aren't set. He's going uphill as CJ McCollum has a full head of steam downhill. So now this miss doesn't matter because there's no one to box out Valanciunas. If you want to get in the gaps defensively, you've got to get in a defensive stance with your feet set. Look at this Hornets player. Not in a defensive stance, feet aren't set. You're never getting out to Trey Murphy. You can just rip and go right by you. Hornets are in drop coverage. If you're Gordon Hayward, you don't go under this screen. You go over. Look, it's a terrible angle, so it's going to force this backside defender to have to stick around too long, and now he can't get back out to his man Najee Marshall, who can just get it and go. Again, if you want to be in the gaps, your feet have to be set in a defensive stance. Look at this player's feet moving inward. You have no chance of getting to Trey Murphy now. Again, it's just get it and go. If you're Dennis Smith Jr., where is the effort level? Get over here in a defensive stance with your feet set so you can guard the ball instead of this dancing around and backpedaling thing. What is Nick Richards doing here off of this ball screen? You're in drop coverage. This P.J. Washington steps up in backside help, so you don't need to be all the way down here. You can get up and actually guard the ball. Like, I mean, this is just too easy. If you're going under this screen, there can be zero hesitation in going under, and you cannot make contact with the screener. So look at, here's the hesitation right there, okay? And there's the contact with the screener right there. So now this player's on the other side way ahead of you. Okay, so Gordon Hayward comes down. Stop. He comes down to dig in the post. This player's dribble's picked up, so now it's time to get back out. Valanciunas does not have his dribble alive anymore. P.J. Washington can guard him. Now you're just standing in no man's land right now. Like, you got to stay attached to your man right here, because if he slips the screen, you got to be able to stay with him. See, you're not attached to your man. He slipped the screen, so now you have no chance of getting over this flare screen because you're so far behind him. I mean, you just put Gordon Hayward in a terrible spot. We got a down screen here. You got to get attached to your man with your arms out so Brandon Ingram can't curl. Look, when he curls, you give Gordon Hayward no time to get over the screen. You can't guard Brandon Ingram like this. His feet are never going to be set. He's going to be off balance, and it's over. Okay, you cannot just pick and choose which screens you defend. This is a down screen. You've got to get attached with your arms out so Brandon Ingram can't curl. Look when Brandon Ingram curls. Look at the space here. So now this player has no chance of being able to guard this handoff. So what does that do? That means Nick Richards has to stay up longer than he needs to, and Valanciunas now is going to have offensive rebounding positioning, besides giving up an open three that just happens to not go in. Again, you got to play up a little bit here. You've got backside help right here for Larry Nance's role, and here, potentially, if it gets that far. But, this is just too easy. You are guarding Brandon Ingram right now. Get your feet set in a defensive stance. What is this Hornets player doing right here? Are you ready to guard Brandon Ingram? Because he's about to catch this ball. No, you are not. So now it's just, you're off balance. You are running drop coverage. This guard has to go over the screen. You never go under in drop coverage. It's the angle. It's awful. What is Gordon Hayward doing here? Why are you already doubling the post? The entry pass hasn't even been made. Stay with your man. And by the way, this player's going to end up doubling, so we don't need you there. So look what happens. Gordon Hayward's now just standing in the middle of nowhere. And now he can't guard his man, who's going to, as he's going uphill, he's beating him back door. You cannot be playing this far off Jonas Valanciunas. Okay, you got to get up more. Okay, I understand that this player is going to come through off of this fake dribble handoff, but you got to be up as soon as that's done and ready to guard. Like, you're just giving Valanciunas way too much space here. Look at this. You're not guarding his post up until now. By the way, you just gambled too. Okay, you have a down screen first here, okay, which you cannot go up the gut of. Like, this player's going up the gut of this down screen. Look at this. You have no chance to guard this handoff now. None. Zero. So Gordon Hayward is doubling the ball right here, okay? So JT Thor is going to rotate here, which he needs to do. And Mikhail Luke's got to rotate here. Gordon Hayward's got to come here. I don't know where Gordon Hayward's going, because right now we have, like, two Hornets players sort of guarding the ball, which means no one's guarding the ball. If you're guarding Valanciunas here and you're Nick Richards, you got to get up. Because as soon as Valanciunas makes a move, you got to be able to make contact with him. If you let him get forward momentum going this way without making contact with him, look at this, all right? See how he's moving here? And he's already into his move. And now you're starting to make contact. Well, he's just too strong, and he's going to go right through it now. Okay, the Hornets double the post here. That's fine. You need to rotate, though. So this player's going to rotate here. This player rotates here. This Nick Richards has got to come up here. Gordon Hayward's got to go here. That has to happen. I don't know what else there is to say.